So I was 7 years old when I found out that my mum had been diagnosed with breast cancer, and I can clearly remember the day my dad had come and picked my brother and myself up from primary school, and I can remember thinking that there was something not quite right because it was a bit unusual. And then we went home and saw mum, and then found out that she had been diagnosed with breast cancer. And then a few years later, in 2013, we found out that my ma, which is my dad's mum, had been diagnosed with breast cancer also. My name is Bridget Gurry, and this is an exploration of my Year 12 Studio Art final, in which I dive into my experiences as a daughter and granddaughter of women who have been diagnosed with breast cancer. The exhaustion layer is the first layer of this artwork, and it looks at the physical effect that it has on the person who is going through breast cancer. It has been explored through the use of the heavy velvet fabric, and the fact that it wraps around the whole body symbolises that it's such a consuming and constricting feeling on the person underneath. Effects of treatment has been explored through the use of a light, flowing green fabric to help symbolise what the feeling of nausea feels like within the body. And the little clip that's used to hold the cloak together has been taken off the medication that my ma used to take. So the pain and numbness has been explored through the use of this knitted fabric, using the different colours of red to symbolise pain and purple to symbolise numbness. Like the previous layers, the facing mortality constricts the whole body, however uses a hessian fabric to explore how uncomfortable and confronting the thought can be for the person. The thoughts layer is a visual representation of the mental effects that the person with breast cancer might be experiencing. And on the back of this piece is the saying, "Keep it together," which has been embroidered, which reflects on what someone who might have a young family may be replaying in their head as they feel like they need to keep strong for them. The next layer is loss of hair, which physically affects the person underneath. And I have conceptualised this through unpicked embroidery to mimic the texture of hair in which the scarf is then wrapped around the head. The next layer is the effects on loved ones layer, which is my family's faces printed in kind of deep colours that explore the feelings of anxiety and sadness. The scars layer is symbolised through the use of a ripped bandage-like garment with the beautiful silk that's underneath. And this has been used to explore why humans see their scars to be such imperfections, yet they actually tell a story of strength. The second last layer is the lump, in which the fabric has been stiffened along the bottom edge of the skirt to create the circular form, which explores the fact that most people's diagnosis will start exactly here. And then the final layer is the raw layer, and this symbolises that underneath all the weight of these different layers, there is a person underneath.
Actually have a rest. It's been out all week. Well, for us.
So through the creation process of this artwork, I was able to reflect on my experiences as a 7-year-old, and as well of those around me, such as my family, and especially my mum and ma, and the experiences that they had, and how that has shaped the women that they are today. And in terms of the future, I realised how much I love creating conceptual artworks, and how you can put colour and shape and form and texture together to make an overall meaning. The intention of this artwork was always for me to help provide comfort, even in the smallest of ways, to people who may have experienced or are experiencing a diagnosis with breast cancer, and so that they can feel seen and they can feel heard and know that they're not alone, and to also help those around them and how they can support their loved one who will be going through a really difficult time.